Good evening and welcome back to UI7's election night coverage. I'm Caitlin McClure. Early results for Champaign County Auditor are in and we are tied. Republican incumbent John Farney currently is neck and neck with Democratic challenger George Danos. 57% of votes are reporting. Danos has had no problem mudslinging in this election, claiming $12.4 million went missing under Farney's supervision and that he did not catch it for 2 calendar years. In Champaign County alone, the number of voters registered to vote was up nearly 20% from the last presidential election in 2012.
One of UI7's very own was just 50 feet from Sunday's shooting. Devin Tammons is here to explain what he saw and heard. So, Devin, you were there. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing and kind of what happened right before.
In a state that transitions from rural to urban so quickly, it's easy to think that that may have something to do with how Illinoisans vote. Many protesters have come out, both young and old, to stand in solidarity with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe against the North Dakota pipeline. This will be just one of many events held in the Champaign-Urbana area. Results are also coming in for the 13th congressional district race in Illinois, which pits Republican incumbent Rodney Davis and Democratic candidate Mark Wickland of Decatur. Results are showing a lead for the incumbent with 59%. Mark Wickland trails with 41%, 6% of the votes reporting. It's finally beginning to feel a lot like winter outside. Although the official start of winter won't be for a few more weeks, today, December 1st, does mark the meteorological start of winter. However, these warm temperatures aren't all over the country. It's still pretty warm with a 74 in Dallas and a 59 in Cleveland. But if you look over at my home area of Denver, Colorado, it's 33 degrees and it's snowing if we go ahead and pull up the radar. Going ahead and looking at tonight's forecast, we can expect a low of 31, but that real feel is going to drop down to about 26 degrees tonight, so definitely grab a coat. You can expect partly cloudy skies with winds coming in from the west at 8 miles per hour. So in my hand, I have what's called a moon cake. Said that tonight's a harvest moon, so the Chinese celebrate that by making these moon cakes, and you can actually make your own at the Illini Union tonight from 6:30 to 8. But apparently each one of these is 975 calories. But even though it's supposed to snow Saturday, it only counts if you could track a cat.
I've never heard of anything like that before
I
in my
just
life.
learned this. Apparently it only counts if there's enough snow, like on the hood of your car, that you could see the cat's prints if they walk across the hood of your car.
Oh, wow.
That's how it counts as the first snow.
Well, thank
Fun
you for
facts.
that information.
It's your opening statement. So if you guys are arguing that, yes, we need to do a brownfield, we need to build on brownfield rather than, yes, what is your main thing that you're going to tell them?
Betsy Keeger has been a student in the University of Illinois Ag Ed program for 3 years. Becoming an ag teacher was always her plan. However, with Governor Rauner's new proposed budget cuts, which zeroes out the ag education line item, Betsy may never get the chance to pursue her dream job.
For my future, I will not be able to have a job. A lot of the programs will shut down throughout the state. And those programs that will stay open are going to be funded by their school, which is highly unlikely to happen. The way the state education budget stands currently, Chicago receives $1.4 million to do whatever they choose with in their education system, leaving little to no money for downstate Illinois. You don't necessarily have to have 3 opposing arguments, but 3 is your max.
Keeger is from Mount Vernon, Illinois. She says that only about 2% of her high school population is from a farm background, although the ag program there is the second largest in the state.
And that means that our agriculture classes are putting an impact on students that aren't just living out on the farm, students that realize how important it is to know about horticulture, know about the plants around you, know about what's going on in your community agriculture-wise, know about the food that you're eating.
Ag Education Teaching Associate Deborah Cordy says the budget has made her students more passionate about teaching agriculture, but many are worried about the longevity of the industry.
They start to wonder if maybe this is the right path for them at this time, just because how long will agriculture education programs be around?
As for Keeger, she's already exploring other career opportunities.
I've thought about joining the military so that I actually have a job after college.
At this point, Keeger believes joining the military is her best option. In Urbana, UI7 Newsbreak, I'm Caitlin McClure. It's safe to say this fall will be delicious. Red delicious, that is. After a brief frost scare this spring, the fall apple harvest has turned out even better than expected. Curtis Orchard manager Aaron Curtis Graham says the only setback from our cold spring and warm fall is a couple weeks delay.
It really depends on heat and also on the amount of moisture, and we haven't had too much of either, although our season is slightly behind what we would call an average season.
Curtis Graham says you should expect all apple varieties to be 1 to 2 weeks behind. Thanks to precautions made, setting brush fires, and an attempt to keep the apples warm, there will still be plenty of apples this season. Red Delicious is in season right now, and I know I'm not the only one that's ready to pick my own. Jamie Willis is a regular to the orchard and is more than ready to reap the benefits of this year's harvest.
Because you can do so many things with them. We make applesauce, we make apple pies, we eat them. They're a great fruit, they're locally grown.
Willis and her husband visit the orchard a minimum of 3 times every fall and walk out with at least half a bushel of apples each time.
It's great because they'll be here longer and we can keep coming back and buying them because we truly eat apples every day.
Curtis Graham and Willis both stressed the need for consumers to try every variety of apple, so you always have an in-season apple to eat.
Apples are just fun.
How do you like them apples? In Champaign, I'm Caitlin McClure, UI7 News.